Like 1998 is I guess nearly the first big wave world championship. It was the Reef at Todos Santos. Gary Linden put it on, and it was teams, right? It was a teams style event. Like, so you had, was it 2 surfers or 3 surfers from each country? 2 surfers from each country, and you sort of competed in, because I remember, because that's Taylor got the biggest wave that day, won the K2 challenge, which was the same year, 98, won the $50,000. But you actually won that contest, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That was officially the first, like world champion big wave was actually back in 98.
Long time ago, huh?
Long time ago. But I mean, 22 years. So like, how did that, like obviously from your first season in Hawaii to then, that's, a decade. And I'm sure that your partner, Evra, how do you pronounce his name again?
Eraldo.
Yeah,
Eraldo.
I mean,
Eraldo,
you guys.
Eraldo, you gotta, roll your tongue a little bit.
Eraldo, yeah. Yes. And, you guys probably became tow partners, and then the whole, the jet ski as well. I know you were right, at the start of the tow-in revolution as well. So at that stage in 1998, are things starting to move forward? You've got more sponsors. You've obviously, you've been selected for Team Brazil. You win that contest. Things must be going well at that stage of your life.
For sure. But you see how it was important for me to really lose everything, because when I got back and I got recognized by surfing, big wave surfing, was when I was 25 to 26 years old, just like 4 years before the event at Todos Santos, 98. So I started to get recognized by the companies here in Brazil and got some money and sponsorship to travel. So instead of selling clothes and surfboards and bikinis, I was getting paid to go to Easter Island, to Peru, to Indonesia, to Hawaii. And then I said, oh my God, now I got a second chance. And I'm doing what I really want to do. And then I focused a lot. So when I got that opportunity at Todos Santos, I was going against my idols, people that I admire a lot, like Brock Little, Sean Bradley, Tony Ray, Ross Clark-Jones, Peter Mel, Taylor Knox, Macaulay brothers, a lot of guys that, I was just surfing with them for the last 10 years, admiring them a lot, but I didn't have my name on the sport yet. And I knew that day was my day. I had that on my mind. I said, I don't know if I'm going to win or not, but I'm going to give my best. I just don't care, So when I won that, everything changed in my life. I won, Rodrigo was 5th, and then Brazil won as a team and individual. And, I got back to Brazil and we were referenced in our country, and we were referenced in the world because we became big wave world champions. And before that, we were seen as small wave surfers. Brazil that had that reputation of surfing really well on small waves, but not so good on big waves. Today, it's okay. We can surf big waves, we can get some barrels, and we can win some titles, but not back on the time. And that was really hard to overcome. And the most important thing for me, honestly, wasn't the title at all. I wanted to do this changing on people's mind, I want them to change their mindset, especially because when my father said to me that I wouldn't be able to survive as a surfer, I looked at him and I said, I'm going to prove you that I'm going to be able to survive as a surfer. And I don't want you guys to be so hypocrite and look at me and because I surf and put a label on my head. We can't judge people just because what they do and how do they look like. And the same thing happened at Todos Santos. I wanted to prove you guys that, okay, I don't have big waves back home, but I can train hard and I can become a big wave surfer, you know. And I was feeling so proud of our country. And it's good to tell that Gabriel Medina was 5 years old. He wasn't surfing at 9'8". So he starts to surf when he was 9. And he wasn't how can I say that? You know, he wasn't traumatized by this image that I was, you know, because if I had a really weak mind, you know, I would end up believing that I wasn't able to surf big waves. So when Gabriel Medina starts surfing, he was already a big wave world champion. You know, he was motivated to overcome other levels, but not that anymore, you know. And that's how my life works. You know, I'm motivated by changing people mindset more than winning anything, you know. That's how I like to see my life. You know, that's how I pursued my life.
No, yeah, I know that you've worked really hard, and you know, you feel like you've been probably the underdog, and I feel like that's a lot of big wave surfers feel like that, and that's why they're so successful, or they're so resilient, because you know, there's a lot of stuff that goes wrong when you're chasing big waves, you know, like whether the swell doesn't come, or, you know, boards don't make it. You know, there's a lot of stuff that goes wrong, can go wrong, that can derail a trip or a session. But I feel like, you know, big wave surfers and, you know, the good ones can really adapt on the fly and overcome adversity. And I know that's what you've done. I feel like, you know, part of me too, growing up, it was just nearly like trying to prove everyone else that, you know, this is what you can do, you want to do, no matter how, you know, the harder people say you can't, the more you want to push that you can.
Yeah,
and,
you're right. Yeah.